Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So we're gonna get started on this look. I'm gonna start by moisturizing my skin. So I'm starting with the Inkey Hyaluronic Acid. This is just gonna help hydrate my skin and reduce any fine lines and wrinkles. Next I'm going in with the Neutrogena Hydra Boost Water Gel. This says it's oil-free and non-comedogenic, meaning it won't clog my pores. Some of the ingredients are water, dimethicone, glycerin. Dimethicone is a smoothing agent. It helps to moisturize skin by reducing water loss and providing skin with softness. I'm looking down at some notes just to make sure I'm saying this right. And the glycerin in it is a humectant, which helps pull water to the surface of your skin. So it helps hydrate the outer layer of your skin surface. And this also will help prevent water loss as well. So if you don't know, I have combination skin, dry around this area, and the rest of my face is oily, mostly my T-zone, but my skin has been acting up due to the weather changing. Right behind that, I'm using a Nivea soft moisturizing cream for face, body, and hands. Some of the ingredients in this is water, glycerin, Myristal, alcohol, mineral oil, butylene glycol. So the Myristal alcohol, it acts as a softener and stabilizer to prevent product separation, and it helps smooth the skin and prevent water loss. And the butylene alcohol helps to moisturize the skin and keep it hydrated and help to look its youngest. And it helps moisturize the skin topically, so it's saying that it doesn't penetrate. I would do more research on that and double check that, but that's what it says it's used for. And butylene alcohol is also used in a lot of hair products as well. To seal everything in, I'm going in with the Drunk Elephant Virgin Marula Luxury Facial Oil. So I put on all of my water-based products first, and now I'm putting on the oil. Since water and oil don't mix, you want to apply your water-based products first and then your oil on top. For my eye cream, I'm going to apply the JLo Beauty That Fresh Take. I'm going to start on my brows. So I'm going to use the Anastasia Brow Freeze and a disposable spoolie. Because I put oil on my skin, I'm going to put a little bit of the Laura Mercier powder on my brows, and then I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Brow Duo, the dark brown one, and this Morph M158 brush. I'm using the angled side. To clean up under my brows, I'm going to go in with the Tart Ultra Creamy Shape Tape. And to clean up above my brows, I'm going to go in with the Stay Naked Correcting Concealer in the shade 70 NY. Once I have my brows set, I go back in with a spoolie with the brow gel on it and just lightly brush through the brows to make sure the hair is set in place. So what I'm going to be doing is a fall inspired look. I'm going to be using the ABH Norvina palette. So as you can see, I already dug into the palette, so I'll be using A2, the orange shade at the top, E4, this yellow here at the bottom, C4, this burgundy shade, and a little bit of E2 as like a brownish shade. So yeah, those are the 4 shades I'll be using for this look. For my eyeshadow base, I'm going to be using this NARS Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. I'm just going to apply a little bit to my lid. And that same brush, actually, I'm going to use a Sephora base shadow brush. And I'm blending that up to the brow line. I'm going to blend it out. I'm going to mix it in with the concealer. And this eyeshadow base is very quick drying. And all I'm doing is just pressing it in. What I'm going to be using is some angle brushes. This is a Coastal Scents flat angle brush. So I'll be using 2 of these. I'll be using a Morphe M506 brush, small blending brush. I might use the Morphe E36 brush as like a mini dome brush. It's a bit denser. This is a BH Cosmetics flat eyeshadow brush. I might be using this one. And I might just be using a small round blending brush. This is the one from the Walmart set, the brush sets that they have during the holiday time. So I'm actually going to start off with an angle brush. And because the BH palette does not have a black shade, I'm just going to pull out a black eyeshadow from my Z palette. This is the shade Carbon, which if you've seen my other videos, you've seen me use this before. So what I'm going to do is just stamp. I'm going to do a cut crease, but I'm going to stamp it in where I want the black eyeshadow to go, and I'm going to raise my brow so I can see. And I'm going right above my crease, where my natural crease is. I'm actually on my natural crease, but when I'm gonna blend the eyeshadow, the black out, I'm gonna blend it out a little more, so that way it's blends out a little above my crease, but I'm actually putting this directly on my crease. Once I lay the color down, I'm gonna go back and forth on the angle brush and just kind of blend it. Help diffuse out the color a bit. I'm going to clean that brush off. And the next shade I'm going into is C4. And I'm just going to stamp this color right on top of that black, at the edge of where the black is. I'm going to stamp it right on top of it. Now I'm going to go back and forth and diffuse this shade, and I'm just going to keep repeating the same thing for every color I lay down. Stamping it down and then going back to diffuse it a bit. Now that I have the color laid down, I'm going to go back and blend in between the shades so that they fade into each other. So now that I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Morphe M506 brush. And I'm going to dip into the shade E4, the yellow shade. And I'm going to go ahead and just blend that on the outer edge of the orange. So because I need to build up the pigmentation of the yellow a little bit stronger, I'm just going to follow suit and do what I've been doing, just laying down the color. And then I'll go back and blend it. So now I'm going to go back into each of the colors on this Morphe 504 brush and just touch up the colors that I laid down and kind of blend them out a little bit better, so that way you can see the vibrancy of them. These shades are highly pigmented. A little goes a long way and they blend so seamlessly. And I'm just using brush cleaner on a paper towel to clean the brush off in between each color. And I just swirl the brush in it to get the color off. And when you're applying the eyeshadow, you just want to you don't even want to, like, what I'm trying to say is you just literally want to tap very lightly and just do small circles, and that's what diffuses the color to blend out. and you also control how much you have on the brush, and when you're blending it out you can see it spread out a little more. So when you do smaller circles, as you can see, it helps diffuse the color, but at the same time you're also controlling how far you want to blend out your shades. So don't just put a lot on the brush and then just go straight on your, like go on your face like that, because then it's too much. So you just want to put a little bit on the brush and then literally gently tap and then do little baby circles, and you'll start seeing your color diffuse. Now if you have it like this where you see the burgundy meets the orange and you want to blend it a little bit better, make sure there's really not much left on the brush. Go right on top of it and just go little circles back, mini circles, and they will start to blend. But you don't want to over blend it where the colors are not, when they melt too finely into each other. You just want to blend it enough to where it's seamless, but you can see the transition like a sunset. But if you over blend, you can end up wiping out one of the shades, which means you have to go back and apply the shadow a little more. But it also depends on what look you're going for. If you like this harsh look, kind of, if you want it more harsh, then just add more color or don't fully blend it. But if you want it a bit more softer, then keep blending. Now because my brow hairs go laid this way, I'm blending in the direction of my brow hair, so that way I don't mess up my brows or the color I'm laying down. I'm going to use another angled brush. It's the same brush, just in a different color. And I'm going to use the NARS eyeshadow base and go ahead and clean up this crease. I'm just going to use a makeup remover and wipe off because I have a lot of fallout and black. This is a square detailer brush by Real Techniques. Now this one was in one of their eye brush kits. Any small brush like this will do, or a very thin liner brush, or maybe even a lip brush depending on how thin it is. You could dip back into that shade and just tap off the fallout and just use it as a pencil and just go back over that shade and fix where you have some imperfections. So one thing about this eyeshadow base is that it dries quickly, and you can thicken it up if you layer it on top of itself. So because it's so self-setting, I'm not going to set it with any powder. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Morph 506 brush and go into that yellow shade. Pat it in. I'm not wiping off, I'm not tapping the brush off so the fallout comes off. I'm literally going right from the palette to my eye. I'm also going to go in with this, with the angled brush. Go into that yellow shade, and now I'm tapping off the fallout, and I'm just making sure I'm getting close to that line so you don't see any whiteness below it from the eyeshadow base. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with some more eyeshadow base and the other angled brush. And this is where we start to create work. So load up your brush with your concealer or your whatever you're using to cut your crease. Whatever you use to cut your crease. And we're going to stamp. So we're going to do a chevron stamp or an arrow. So the part that points outward on the brush, I'm going to stamp it that way. Then I'm going to flip it up and stamp it that way. So it helps to raise your eye, and I think for me, when I stamp the bottom, it's fine, but when I stamp the top, I have to come in a little more to create that arrow. And actually with this, I'm setting it with the lower Mercier powder before I apply the color. I'm going to use that flat eyeshadow brush to pack on the color. I need something more dense. And I'm just going to repeat this for every color, the same technique. I'm going to go into the shade E2, that kind of brownish shade. And I'm going to define that arrow a bit more. Now to create the definition, I'm going to go in with that black shade. So I added just a little bit of black in with that shade that was in the orange to give it, to deepen it up a bit. It's actually better to just put the color down without setting it with powder. This is where I'm going to add the tape. I want to try to get a nice wing. Take your tape, put it right under your eyelash, and then tilt it downward a bit. That way your wing comes out a little this way. Ooh, yeah, that was detailed. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. It's 1:55 in the. It's 1:55 in the morning. Okay, of course I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna stop, go eat, do the other eye, and then come back on camera, and we'll finish the face. If you do like this so far, please hit that like button. Also comment or subscribe. Let me know, what you think about it so far. And I'll be back. Hey guys. Okay, this is what it looks like. So, this is my fall inspired look with the eyes. But it's funny because looking at this one reminds me of the church windows with the, you know what I mean, the church windows. I'm not sure what they're called. So, I'm going to go ahead and start on my face. I already wiped my face off from the fallout with the makeup wipe and then reapply the moisturizer. I'm going to use the City Color Photo Chic Dark Spot Corrector. And I'm just going to use a Luxie 239 Precision Shader to apply it. It's a bit light. I'm going to add in a little bit of the LA Girl Pro in shade Orange. I guess I'll use the Estee Lauder Double Wear for my foundation. Apparently this one I've had for a bit. The words are coming off. But before I do that, I'm going to put a primer on. I'm going to use the NYX Pore Filler as my primer just in my T-zone. I've never used this before, so we'll see how it works out. This is definitely a silicone. I see it mattify the area, but because I have texture in those areas, I'm going to apply a little bit more. So I'm not going to lie, this is a silicone primer. And it's a pore filler, so I put it on my texture areas, which is going to prevent oils from coming out. But I always get nervous with silicone primers because I feel like they're going to make my face break out since they're clogging my pores. So I would always suggest when you wash your face, after you wash off your makeup, use a hot towel to open up your pores and then do a double wash. Or if you have a steamer, after you take off your makeup and wash, steam your face and then wash again. You want to open up your pores and get all the makeup out and all the primers, so that way your skin doesn't break out. So it's not makeup that breaks your skin out unless it's cheap makeup. It's good skincare. And if you don't have good skincare, your face will break out. Among other issues like acne, hormones. You get it. Yeah. I'm going to go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I'm just going to apply it with a damp beauty blender. And I'm going to avoid the eye area because I'm only going to save that part for concealer. And I'll probably go in the eye area with a brush just because I don't want to mess up the eye work. I'm going to take that Stay Naked concealer by Urban Decay and just touch up some areas that could use a bit more coverage. The Tart Ultra Creamy will be the highlight I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and set under my eyes using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm just going to set all the areas that I put highlight. Under my eyes, I'm going to apply the Essence Brighten Up powder. Since the focus is going to be on the eyes, I'm going to keep everything else on the face light, such as blush, lipstick, all that. I'm going to use, for my bronzer, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Bronze Please. The Anastasia Contour Kit. And the darkest shade, this shade in the kit, is Espresso. I'm going to use that. This is by Vera Mona. Use that brush to fix my contour. So for my all over, I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear in the shade 6W1 Sandalwood. For my blush, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Blush Trio in Peachy Love. And I'm going to use the shade Nectarine. I'm going to use this BH Cosmetics number 4 brush. I actually want to try a little bit of this orange, but that might make me ashy. Let's see. I applied these lashes by Morphe in the style Irresistible. Yeah, just to blend these lashes in a little better, I'm just going to add a little bit of eyeliner. See the difference how here, it looks like it's all connected, where here it looks disconnected. That's what I'm going for. For my lips, I'm going to line them with MAC in the shade Chestnut, MAC lip liner. I'm going to use MAC lipstick in the shade My Tweety number 311. This lipstick tastes very sweet. And I'm going to top that with NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Cream Brulee. So I use the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. And this is it, guys. So the lip, you can actually go darker if you want to match the eyes. You can do a burgundy lip. I wanted to keep all the focus solely on the eyes. So guys, let me know, what do you think about this look? If you like it, you don't like it, if you learned something. So I tried to be a bit detailed more. I mean, hopefully try to do a good job. So I hope you guys liked the video, and thank you. And if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, hit that follow button as well. Thank you. Bye.